Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and we got an interesting show for you. Here's the deal. There's going to be certain things that I'm just not going to be able to play on YouTube, not because I am giving medical misinformation, but because I think that at this point, even though I was going to show you just a clip of me discussing H1N1 and what was going on in 2009. I give you the date in the very beginning of this broadcast. And I thought, I can't even just do this justice by playing this clip. I'm going to bring up Earth 2100 because I had totally forgotten about this thing. But as I watched myself talk about it, again, I like to think I have a pretty decent memory. But I have consumed so much media and lived so much life over these old man 42 years that even I forget things. And at the tail end of this clip, after I start talking about quarantines, the dangers of WHO power, forced boops, all these things in 2009, and so many people over the years always said to me, oh, the United Nations doesn't have any real power. Oh, the United Nations doesn't have any real teeth. Oh, they can't do anything. And when I got to this Earth 2100 thing, and then I just watched the first 10 seconds of it, I totally remembered of it. And it was like, it's almost 90 minutes long. And we're probably going to do a full watch along exclusively on Rockfin, because there's no way we'll be able to get away with a full watch along with any kind of justice here on YouTube. And it just shows how over the years we've been programmed to believe certain things. All right. And one of those things is that, for instance, no one's making money with this medicine. And I saw somebody parrot just a little while ago that boops don't make that much profit. Really? They don't. Really.
We see a phenomenal track record. It's been $100 billion overall that the world's put in. Our foundation is a bit more than $10 billion, but we feel there's been over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else.
So, all right, so he begins smiling with glee when he tells you that actually the profits are over 20-to-1 and just about better than anything else. Let me repeat that again. Just about better than anything else. That is not the perception of the general public. So our perceptions have been shaped a lot. And this is what this video is going to be. What we're going to do is I'm going to play you just, a few minutes of the beginning of this Earth 2100 here to start. Then we're going to play just a couple of minutes, probably up to the point where Alex Jones comes in and talks. And then we're going to do the rest over on Rockfin. Because the things I say at the end are frightening, but at the same time, we have to be prepared now more than ever when you have people in charge of millions like Bill de Blasio, at least on the surface, saying what? The voluntary phase is over and instituting segregation of society. That is what is happening right now. 110%. So guys, thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. Over here on YouTube, we're rocking so hard on YouTube these days. We got 40 watching out of the 62,000 subscribers we have. Pretty awesome. Good times. Good times, YouTube. So, again, I need those thumbs. I need the help. We need to reach people on the cat videos as well. But you're definitely going to want to make the free Rockfin account, right? We're almost at 30,000. We can get to 30,000. I was going to put the Anthony Saltalamacia video on this as well. Oh, this is not just going very well. We were going to do that. Oh, I hope Rockfin's not having problems. There we go. Yeah, almost there. Listen, literally 62 people away. But for some reason, I haven't been able to rip it. So we'll be putting some exclusive content up over there that won't get restricted, like YouTube is age restricting a ton of my Epstein stuff. I'm going to look to get Nick Bryan on shortly. And again, all the documentary films are free. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. Okay. So, let's start by going into Earth 2100. Now, although this says, I think it was someone posted it in 2013 in October, this has got to be from 2009. All right, let's start with me talking just a little bit of jazzercising, okay?
We are live this Friday night, June 5th, 2009.
So June 5th, 2009. That means this special came out in June or May of 2009.
And they're going to do it, folks. The WHO going to declare pandemic level 6, but it's going to be a kinder, gentler pandemic level 6. See, they're going to have levels upon levels. Let's just read it for you out of Bloomberg. And thanks for the tip by the caller last night, by the way. The World Health Organization's pandemic alert scale should consider the severity of diseases instead of just the geographical spread, an advisory committee said today. The Geneva-based WHO, within days, will declare the first influenza pandemic in 41 years, according to people.
Think about that. It had been 41 years since that declaration.
Familiar with the United Nations agency's plans. Remember, this is international government, world government. There's a story over at theinfowarrior.com right now telling you why this is pure insanity. If you just look at their own document, the checklist for pandemic preparedness planning, in subsection 1.5.1, they clearly say compulsory vaccinations, off-site drugs, they don't have to work, you can't sue afterward, quarantines, they can just take your property, forget about eminent domain, just kick you out, make it a makeshift hospital, makeshift FEMA center. This is what it's about. And I'm probably not even hot enough just finding that. I just remembered it about 20 minutes before the show and declared it. If they had done this a month ago when there was huge hype around the swine flu, I'd probably be beat red right now. But of course they're ensuring us that, we're not going to really compulsory vaccinate everybody. We're not going to line everybody up, but in certain places we will. And places in France are doing it, other parts of Europe, Australia's talking about it. Swine flu, also known as H1N1, is entrenched in North America. And let's have a little review, because this swine flu isn't just swine flu, it's avian flu and human flu, 2 strains of swine flu, 1 strain of avian, 1 strain of human.
And in this, I obviously talk about biowarfare, okay, and all of these issues. But how many of those things did we see come to fruition? Makeshift hospitals, right? And we now are seeing, and when we talk about internationally, forced inoculations through these digital passports have happened in Israel. I talk about how the Obama administration at the time was pitching a triple flu vaccine, and now we're talking about booster shots for this.
So again, they're not even upfront and honest where this comes from. Then its sister virus, the African swine virus, was released by the CIA back in the 70s against Cuba.
Huh, how about that?
Meanwhile, we have mainline people coming out in ABC saying, well, they're kind of blowing this out of proportion. This isn't even really a severe disease. And then on top of that, other people are saying, well, this could also be made in a laboratory. And in this country, when they talk about it being made in a laboratory, it must have just slipped out. It was by accident.
Oh, it's always slipping out. It's so weird. It's so weird, these scripts that play out, eh?
However, when the Indonesian health minister talks about it and says it's probably, government-based, they blame the Jews. And that's coming from this CFR witch who goes on Colbert and is responsible for this demonic Newsweek article where there's this pig snout coming out of it like a cell and it's all shaded dark and everybody's going to die. I mean, give me a break.
The old anti-Semitism trope, huh? The mainstream media with the fear-mongering.
And this really intertwines with the study, now 2 weeks old, I believe, from the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, where it literally says if you take the regular flu vaccine, you're 3 times as likely to get the flu. That doesn't sound like something I want to put in my body. On top of that, about a month ago, we did a story on the Info Warrior where Obama was trying to line up a 3-spot shot for the regular flu. 3 separate shots. 3. A tri-shot, mandatory. Mandatory. That's on the Today Show with Meredith Vieira. Come on, wake up.
And you know what? I think I'm going to cut it there, and then I'm going to cut to this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back to that because I get a little bit more hardcore. But Earth 2100, this is how they prepare you. Okay, this is how subconsciously you have literally been prepared to accept things like this. And what this is a propaganda piece where someone, New York City Under Quarantine. This is from 2009. Predictive programming, manipulation.
City under full quarantine. The Midwest overrun, devastated by pests. Plague sweep across California. And then, what happened next was something none of us saw coming. It became a race against time to save our future, to even have a future. It's the year 2100, and I survived.
To change the future, first you have to imagine it. Earth 2100.
So basically, you saw all that right there, right? Quarantines in New York City out of the gate, like digital, you could tell the cyber attack's going to be the I survived, mass death. It's all going to be blamed on human beings and climate change. Let's play some more before we go exclusive over at the Rockfin, guys. Again, we're taking this video and we're going exclusive over at the Rockfin because this is it. This is how they've literally manipulated people into being prepared to believe their lying narratives. There is a predator class. There is a transhumanist agenda out there. They do want to bring in automation slowly with their medical martial law and their transhumanism and build into that virtual age. This is real.
Starts now.
The idea that within this century, perhaps in your lifetime, our civilization could lie in ruins seems unbelievable. But according to some of the world's leading minds, that's not just a worst-case scenario. It's a real possibility. Good evening, I'm Bob Woodruff. Over the next 2 hours, we'll take you on a journey into a world that could await us and our children. 370,000 babies will be born today. And we've taken the liberty of creating one more. Fictional character we're calling Lucy, who will be our guide through this century.
Oh, a fictional character that will guide us through the century and prepare you for pandemics and quarantines and control and transhumanism and population control. Awesome. So here's the deal, guys. If you're over on YouTube, scoot it. I'm Dunsey. I'm going to cut back to me, the young Burmis, really telling you, and you'll get, you know what? We'll end it after Alex Jones comes in. We'll come back. We'll let me rant and rave until Alex Jones comes in, and then we're going Rockfin because that's when it really gets hot.
Now they're just going to declare level 6 when the economy's at its worst point. Most people are worried about losing their jobs. Openly today, they said 345,000 people lost their jobs. Economists were predicting something around 520,000. Folks, it's off the charts. Off the charts. And who's doing well? Walmart's doing well. Walmart's about to have $15 billion in buybacks.
By the way, Apple posted record quarterly profits this year. You see how this happens? As they put people out of business, as people actually lose their jobs, but now they put you on the dole, right? They get you ready. They're softening you up right now. Take the shot.
They're planning on expanding or creating 170 plus new stores this year alone. This year alone, folks. And we're all going to take swine flu vaccinations. I mean, nightmarish. Mr. Jones?
Burmis, I'm just putting my headset in here.
Well, folks, we'll be back after this. New look over at theinfowarrior.com right now. And we're going to have a behind the scenes before the show.
All right, we're going to cut it there because I don't want to get a copyright claim. Maybe they are going to nail me for the flogging while at that point. But yeah, here's the deal, guys. The ways to support me are down below, but we're going to go for quite some time. We are not going to play the full 90 minutes of Earth 2100 over there, but we're going to play at least the first 5 or 10 minutes of that. So we're going to finish up for 4 or 5 minutes with my old school Info Warrior. Again, 2009 warning you about all this. I hope people that laughed at me are satisfied. I hope they still think it's funny. Okay? So we're going to come back with Mr. Jones on the other side over at Rockfin. Make the free account. Follow me. Let's hit 30,000.